Hey there, Niranjan here, and I'm back today with yet another video where I'm going to reveal one of my most successful yet easy to create low content book niches so that you can start leveraging on that, and that is going to make you some cash and add to your KDP income because I have been relatively successful in this particular niche myself. Okay, and this does not involve any artistic skills. You can do that no matter what kind of experience you bring to table, and this is going to be super fun and super easy. And on top of all of that, you're going to help a lot of parents educate their kids better. Okay, so are you excited about this video? We are having a great journey with this YouTube channel, and I just want to thank you so much for kind of making it a wonderful journey for me to have started. Today is the third video of this channel, and I'm just in love with what I'm doing here, and with having you around is that much more special. So if you have not liked the video yet, please go ahead and like it if you like the content, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit on the notification bell so that you can get updated whenever I have a new video to release for you. Okay, so now let's talk about this niche that I have never ever spoken about before, not even to my close quarters, like the people who work with me, even they are not aware of this particular niche, right? Something that I basically am invested in, right? So let me take you through to it. So the first thing that we are going to do is reveal the name of the niche, and then we are going to go through a step-by-step process where I'll basically give you some of the information which will make it very simple and easy for you to get started in this particular niche right away. Okay, so let's talk about it. Right. So the niche that we are talking about is timed math tests. Okay. So what are these books? These books are designed to provide math practice to kids. So imagine there is a 5 to 8 year old kid who needs to do basic math addition, subtraction, multiplication, and all those kind of practice tests, right? In order to get better at it. That's where these books come in handy. These are books consisting of math problems, which are designed to give them practice, a lot of practice so that they can get better at the craft. Now, the beauty here is you're adding an element of timed into it. When I say timed, I'm basically talking of giving them the opportunity to take pretty much a test, like in a test kind of environment where they have near about 60 problems that they have to solve within a specified time limit. And then on that page, you've got these options to write the start time, the end time, and basically the grading can also be done over there to understand how much time the kid took to complete the test and what exactly his score is, right? So this brings gamification into the book, and that's why this is such a in-demand thing among parents who want to teach these math concepts and want to have the kids have a lot of math practice. Okay, so they're used to track the time taken by the kid to solve a certain number of math problems, and as we discussed, we are talking about these. Okay, so that is the niche that I have been. So how does the typical interior look? Now, when we started, I told you that I'm going to make it super simple for you. I'm going to give you all the information that you need to basically get started with this right away if you're not already operating in this niche, right? So this is a typical example of an interior. Okay, you've got these boxes where 3 plus 5 is there, you've got 5 plus 2, 1 plus 3, 3 plus 3. So this is basically a single digit addition book. Okay, you could have double digit addition for over here as well, like for example 10 plus 2, 11 plus 3, 11 plus 11. So it really is scalable, and you can understand what I mean by scalability here, because there are so many problems that it can create and so many different types of books that it can create to explain to give an opportunity to the kids to practice these math problems a lot, right? And as they say, practice makes a man perfect, and that's exactly what we're trying to achieve here with these books. That's why they are so important to parents and the kids themselves who are trying to learn the basics of addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. All right. So there are a lot of variations of this. You could just not have these square boxes. You could just have 3 plus 5 and then a line below it, right? So one of the things that you can see here is that numbers will be repeated. There's nothing wrong with that, because that's the entire purpose of this particular book, to provide enough opportunity for the kid to go through the grind and basically learn addition, right? So you could do this for 2 digits. You could continue repeating this, if you imagine, we've got 10 digits, right? From 0 to 9 you've got 10 digits. If you're supposed to create a 100-page book using this 10 digits, obviously you'll have these repetitions happening. For example, here in the problem number 7, you see 4 plus 4 being added, and if you go here in 35, you will see that 4 plus 4 is accepted again. So this is a norm. There's nothing to worry about it. It's all about generating these test books, or rather these interiors, and then going ahead and uploading it to KDP, so that you can have a very specialized book that's going to be loved by parents who want their kids to practice a lot. Okay. Now, something that I've not shown here when I took the screenshot is you could have a place where you would be able to write the start time and the end time, so that you know what exactly is the time that the kid took to complete the test. And of course, there could be something that you could have for grading, right? Let's say out of the 60 puzzles, or I'm sorry, not puzzles, 60 problems, the kid was supposed to was able to solve about 50 of them. That basically means the score is 50 out of 60. So you could give that. And some instructions in the front pages about adding that aspect of gamification would make your book different. So for example, you could advise parents, right? If the kid does 60 on 60, right? The kid does everything correctly, then reward him with a chocolate, or reward him with something that he likes. Okay, so those are the kind of stuff that can make your book unique, even though it is a addition subtraction kind of a book. All right, and do not forget to add that element of time to this entire thing. That's what makes it different. Okay, so now are you ready to take a look at some examples? Right, let's go here. So I have opened up some of the pages, right? So this is let me see if I can just start from the beginning, right? So if you see here, this is one of those books. Let me quickly show you. Right, as you can see, it's very basic, very simple, straightforward math problems, as simple as that, right? You will see a number of those being created, and as you can see, there are names on here. There is a place for score, and then there is a time for duration. You could basically play around with this a bit and kind of change the designs and come up with your own unique interior designs that will make it super simple for you to move forward. Now this one here is a double-digit addition, okay? Double-digit addition book. So we don't see a lot of it, but as you can see, these are all double-digit addition books, okay? Now let's go here. So this is a book where you've got all these math problems available, and that's pretty much it. The entire book is consisting of that, right? So let's go to see another example here. So if you see, we are talking about this book here, which again consists of pretty much the same style or the pattern. It's just that they have changed the design a little bit. And I mean, there's way too much you can do when it comes to these books, or in terms of design, because you've already in the KDP show, you understand that these kind of customizations are fairly easy to do, whether you choose PowerPoint as your tool of choice, or whether you choose Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator. These are fairly easy things to do. Okay. Now this is a niche. As you can imagine, the possibilities are enormous, and there is a lot of scalability that can happen in just this niche. Okay, you could add your angle, your bend to this, and come up with a book that's completely different. Okay, so I hope you get an idea about why I'm so pumped up about this niche. And I can tell you, right, there are not a lot of results when you do your research in this particular niche. Okay, so that basically means that this is something that you can take advantage of, right? So let's go back to the presentation and let me take you through the rest of the slides that I have prepared for you. Okay, now, as I told you, I will be giving you pretty much everything in a structured manner, so that it becomes very straightforward for you to go ahead, do your research quickly, and then probably crank out a few books and have it up there. Okay, have them up there. So the typical page numbers for this sort of books that work well is 100 to 110. I have got books in the zone of 200 pages, and trust me, I don't make as much money on them as I make on 100 to 110 page books. Now, why do I say so? Because the intuitive thing to do is to create probably a bigger book, so that it sells more, because parents would want more practice sheets in that. But the fact of the matter is, the proportion that you have between your costs of manufacturing, shipping and handling by Amazon, to the pricing that you can basically demand on the marketplace to be lucrative to parents, that kind of it's basically a point of diminishing return if you go beyond 150 pages. So ideally, I have found the sweet spot between 100 and 110 pages. So I would recommend you stick to that, unless and of course you want to go ahead and experiment with bigger books. As I said, this is something that is working for me. It's not necessary that it's the exact thing that will work for you, because chances are you'll bring in some other element into it which will make your thicker books or books with more pages much more relevant, much more attractive to users, and it could just fly off the shelves. So feel free to give it a try. What I'm sharing with you is my stats, or the stats that I would go with if I were to start a book in this particular niche right now. Okay, the price point would be $6.97. It would roughly vary between $6 to $6.97. Trim size would be 8.5 to 11, 8.5 by 11. Typically, this is the trim size you'd go with for any of the kids' books. You'll be publishing this on both sides, so you'll have print on both sides of this. So if you're doing, say, 100 pages or say 110 pages, and you have actual problem pages to be about, say, 70 or 80 of them, because you'll have some answer sheets as well, right? So let's say you have 80 of them. That basically means each of those 80 pages, right? Each of those 80 pages will be having content. So you'll not have any blank pages in here. Okay. Now let's talk about the pro tips. Include answer sheets in the book. This is so critical. Okay. Now, there are two ways of figuring this out, right? The other way, either you learn it from here, or what you do is you scour through hundreds of books or listings that are there and go through the negative feedbacks that they have, and you'll see that in some cases this could be one of the reasons why people have left a negative feedback. While it's very intuitive and very simple for anybody to come up with the answers for simple addition and subtraction problems, it's always a good thing to do to include the answer sheets, and that makes the book look so much more professional. Okay, provide space in every page for tracking the start and end time and grading the test. This is extremely important, right? We are positioning this book as a timed math test book. It's just not a math practice workbook. It's a timed math test book. That basically means you have that element of timing. Okay, so that is what is adding to the gamification quotient associated with the book, and therefore it is extremely important you give that start and end time. Some of the books, they just have a tracker of what time it takes. So for example, the way it would work is the parent would then have say a stopwatch, and then they would track how long it takes the kid to complete the set of 50 or 60 or 20 problems, whatever they are there, and then they would note it down. Okay, and over a period of time, it would be expected that the speed actually increases, and the turnaround time, or the time that is taken by the kid to complete the test, that reduces as more and more practice happens. Okay, so I hope this gives you a quick idea about what are the various metrics that you should be looking at. Okay, now I wanted to make it even simpler for you. Okay, now these are not the holy grail keywords. Okay, these are not everything. These are not be all type of keywords. Okay, these are keywords that I'm giving you to stir up your imagination and enable you to go ahead to Amazon.com and start typing this, right? Start typing this. You will see what exactly we are talking about. You will see what exactly the competition is, and you will see why I'm so pumped up about recommending this to you and why I think these books will make you some money over the next year or so. All right. Thank you so much for checking this video out and supporting the channel. I absolutely love every one of you, and I cannot thank you for the wonderful support that you've shown me so far. All right. We are going to make this channel one of the best channels out there when it comes to KDP in particular and POD in general, and I need your support to make that happen. So if you have not subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell button, and of course, show me your love with your comments. Thank you so much. Bye.